This is my raised bed that I put seeds in early April, and there's quite a bit going already. As you can see, I have lettuce growing here, both butter crunch and head lettuce. These little guys right here are toi choy. It's kind of a bok choy. I also have radishes growing, and these are called Roxanne, which is an All-American selection that won an award a few years ago. Then I have some dinosaur kale that's beginning to come up. And if we go over here a little bit more, this is Indian mustard. And finally, over here to the left, I have spinach, but I do have to do some reseeding to fill it in more. One of the things that is some extra work in this garden is that because it has artificial soil in it, and also it's really warm in here during the day, I have to water constantly, usually at least once, sometimes twice a day. You know, watering that garden can get a little bit old, so I decided to install an irrigation system. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is the supplies that you're going to need. First of all, I bought some 1/2-inch irrigation hose from Lowe's. And I bought an end cap. Also, I bought this backflow prevention device, which is if I wanted to feed fertilizer through the irrigation system, once I turn it off, I don't want it to go back into my system, and if it's close to a wellhead, it could go down into the well. I bought some elbows also. These allow me to put the pipe in whatever direction I want. It's going to come down off the side of the bed and then down to the ground. I'm going to bury some and then run pipe over to the faucet so that when I mow over in this area, I don't have to take anything apart. And then these are the risers right here. And you'll notice this little red cap on the top. This allows me to distribute the water in a 360-degree angle, and there's another yellow piece that can be inserted in here if I only wanted 90 degrees or 180-degree water distribution. This is where the riser hooks up to the pipe down the middle. And let's see, is there anything else here? Oh yeah, there is. These little gizmos here attach to the hose and hold the hose in place. And I have some over here that I'll show you in just one second. I've already put an end cap on this. The end cap simply goes on and then you screw it down and it's nice and tight. For the holders, basically what you do is you feed them on the end of an open hose and then you slide them to where you want to have them. I bored a 3/4 inch hole here so I can put the pipe through because I'm going to have an elbow on here and it's going to go straight down. So I just pull my irrigation pipe through to the point where I want it. And then I'll put the end cap down here. If I didn't have these supports, the plastic hose isn't very flexible and it wouldn't stay down. So that's why we have those. Crushing a couple of plants here, but hey, what can I say? Now this is the riser right here, and you'll notice it's open here at the top. Okay, this little red tip here goes on the top, and it's like this. You screw it in. Now there's another yellow piece that comes with these tips that I can insert that will give me a distribution of 180 degrees or 90 degrees. When I just put this part in, it gives me a 360 distribution of water, and that's what I want. Okay, the vinyl locking collar is attached right here. So that has to be put on the top first. Screw your head in. I don't know if you can see this really well. This is an on and off switch right here. And what I need to do is use a little punch to punch a hole large enough to insert this. And you can buy a piece that will punch the hole in the plastic for you. I can't find mine right now, so I'm going to use a knife and then I'm going to test it for leaks, because if it makes too large a hole, you're going to have leaks in your system, and that's not good. Now I have a sharp knife. I'm going to just punch a small hole in here. Doesn't have to be very large. And then I take the tip here, and if the hole is large enough, I should be able to push it in. There it is. And then all I have to do is place this now. I can go quite a distance. So I'm going to put it right about 2 feet from the edge. I'm going to push it down. And my first one is ready to test. And this is the farthest spot away from the source of the water. I want to see what the water pressure is going to do. And it's working. I may have to put more of these in here because of the distribution pattern. But the only way I'll really know how well it's going to work is after I put a number of them in there. I may have to overlap them a little bit, but we'll see. Okay, now it's hooked up to the hose in the front, which has much higher pressure, and I'm actually having the risers blowing water over the edge. So you might have to adjust your water flow so that the water is not being wasted, but this is working pretty well. Also, there are a couple other things that I can do to make this even more easy. One would be to put it on a timer, and I can, once I decide how long I need to run those in order to wet the soil sufficiently, then I can put a timer on it and I'm in good shape. One other thing I can do is I can make up a stock solution that will water and fertilize at the same time. And we could use something called a hose-on for that, and I'll discuss that in another video. So I can have it water itself and fertilize itself. And then basically all I have to do is watch it and pull out whatever few weeds that are in there. And of course we can deal with the weeds by mulching. But since I have artificial mixes in here, there aren't a lot of weed seeds, so I occasionally have to pull one up. So there are a couple other things that we can do, and I'm going to change this plastic top to a different type of top, and we'll discuss that in another video also. Again, this is designed to make things easier, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next time I put another video out.